Let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to objectively break down the fascinating and, yes, highly controversial manifesting philosophy of Kevin Trudeau. Whether you see the guy as a brilliant marketer, a total fraud, or maybe a bit of both, the reality creation system he teaches is incredibly detailed. We're literally looking at the exact mechanics of his 40-point success algorithm straight from his own material. Now, you're probably asking the ultimate skeptical question, right? If this system actually works, how on earth did its creator end up serving the longest contempt of court sentence in U.S. federal prison history? Well, according to Trudeau, getting locked up wasn't a glitch in his system. Actually, he claims it was the universe clearing the decks. He says he literally asked for the time to write his legacy courses, and the universe gave him exactly what he needed, a completely clear calendar, completely cut off from his multi-billion-dollar businesses. So, to really understand this hidden playbook, we're going to walk through his teachings step by step. First, the prison paradox. 2, the manifesting recipe. 3, brainwaves and frequencies. 4, the power of words. And finally, number 5, the art of meditation. Starting right off with Section 1, the prison paradox, reframing total disaster. Trudeau is absolutely adamant that to build wealth, you have to fundamentally rewire how you look at catastrophic setbacks. He leans super heavily on concepts from old-school industrial titans like John D. Rockefeller and J. Paul Getty. The argument here is that the universe doesn't deal out punishments. No, it deals out hidden opportunities for growth. The whole core belief is that the universe doesn't do things to us, it does things for us. Like if your factory burns to the ground, Trudeau says that is the exact moment the millionaire mindset kicks in and finds the genius idea that shoots them into the stratosphere. It's the classic difference between life happening to you versus life happening for you. It's like that old glass half full or half empty analogy, you know? Trudeau points out that someone with a true millionaire mindset doesn't even care if the glass is half full or half empty. Why? Because they know they have the power to just grab a pitcher and fill the glass up themselves whenever they want. All right, let's move into Section 2, the manifesting recipe, moving from disgust to desire. So transitioning from just surviving a disaster to actively creating a brand new reality. Trudeau pushes back against this modern idea that you need pure gratitude to start your engine. Drawing from mentors like Jim Rohn, he argues that while yes, gratitude is essential later on, the absolute most powerful initial trigger to get you moving is actually disgust, total disgust with your current situation. He tells this story about an old hound dog just howling on a porch because it's sleeping on a nail. Why doesn't the dog move? Well, because it doesn't hurt quite enough yet. Until you are thoroughly, violently disgusted with being sick and tired, you just won't generate the massive energy needed to actually change your life. Okay, so once you're finally motivated by that disgust, he insists you have to follow an exact sequential formula. First you be, then you do, then you have. You can't just dream without doing, obviously, but if you take action while you've got a terrible, doubtful attitude, you're going to fail too. You have to literally be the frequency of success first. When you do that, the do phase, the actual work, feels totally effortless, and only then will you have the result. And if you aren't seeing results, Trudeau claims it mathematically comes down to just one of 3 specific failures. You might be mixing up those steps we just talked about, or you might have hidden subconscious counterintentions, like deep fears inherited in your DNA that are literally pushing wealth away, or thirdly, you're trying to broadcast your desires on a physiological brainwave that just cannot carry the signal. Which brings us to Section 3, brainwaves and frequencies, tuning the dial. Let's look at how this ties into the actual physiological electrical frequencies inside your head. Trudeau cites studies claiming that the vast majority of people are just permanently stuck broadcasting in stressed-out beta waves. Meanwhile, the highly successful, they operate mainly in the calmer, deeper alpha and theta bandwidths. His claim is that if you're stuck in beta, which he literally calls the slave or poverty wave, you are mathematically incapable of attracting wealth no matter how hard you hustle or how many hours you work. Think of it like a radio dial. You simply cannot tune in to 107.3 FM if your dial is stuck on 87.3 FM. If you want to listen to rock and roll at 107.3, you can't leave your radio parked at 87.3 and sit there wondering why you're only hearing classical music. You have to learn how to manually reach up and change your brain's channel. And how exactly do you do that? That leads us to Section 4. The power of words, the I am trap. According to his teachings, shifting from the poverty wave to the wealth wave starts right under your nose. Literally. Trudeau explains that words aren't just vibrations in the air. They are literal, energetic spells that command reality. He points out that the classic magician's phrase, abracadabra, actually comes from ancient Persian, and it literally translates to, I now create with my words. He says we are wildly careless with our words. Like taking the word terrific, it originally meant something terrifying or disastrous. You really have to know what kind of spell you're casting. And here is where it gets tricky. Your subconscious treats everything that follows the words I am as absolute, undeniable truth. So he warns never, ever to claim a negative state. If you say I am a loser, you are locking yourself into a permanent trap. Now, if you're broke, saying I am wealthy might feel like a flat-out lie, which just creates mental resistance. So instead, Trudeau suggests building a vibrational bridge. You say, I am getting wealthy. You use that bridge until you've elevated your frequency enough to claim the final state. But why speak it out loud? Well, when you talk, up to 90% of that sound completely bypasses your ear. Instead, it travels straight up through your vocal cords and your bones, violently vibrating your brain and your cells. That's actually why you sound so weird to yourself on a voice recording. This bone conduction is what makes spoken words infinitely more powerful at reprogramming your reality than just silent thoughts echoing around inside your head. Moving on to our final section, Section 5, the art of meditation, releasing the bubbles. To truly master these brainwaves and scrub out all that negative subconscious programming, his playbook relies on a very specific tactical approach to meditation. Now, you can do this anywhere. He even notes that comedian Jerry Seinfeld supposedly meditates in the back of loud, chaotic New York City taxis. But Trudeau strongly recommends this specific daily schedule: a morning session to jumpstart your day, and then a late afternoon session right before dinner. That afternoon session acts like an energetic scrub, wiping away all the stress of the workday so you don't end up dumping it on your family. And the magic number here, just 20 minutes. You really don't need to sit there for an hour like a monk. He says the energetic benefits drastically taper off right around the 20-minute mark. Hey, if you only have 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. But 20 is the absolute sweet spot to lock into those alpha and theta wave states. The mechanics are incredibly simple. You don't need to twist yourself into a lotus pose. Just find a chair, pull the flesh out from under you so you're sitting directly on your sit bones, which naturally straightens your spine. Pick a point of focus and just let your body do the rest. You just lock your attention onto an anchor. It could be visual, like staring at a candle flame. It could be auditory, like the hum of a fan or the old school sound of Om. Or it could literally just be the physical sensation of your breathing. The whole key is to pick one and stick with it. And look, your mind is going to wander. It's inevitable. When it does, don't get mad, don't judge yourself. Just neutrally, gently guide it back. I love how he describes this. He compares those random, distracting thoughts to trapped air bubbles stuck on the ocean floor. They are energetic imprints, just trapped stress and negativity. By sitting there in total neutrality, you're finally allowing those bubbles to rise all the way up to the surface, pop, and dissipate. So you're not failing at meditating when you have thoughts. You are quite literally processing and releasing them. And as you're clearing out that stress and building up this new reality, Trudeau gives one massive piece of advice. Keep your mouth shut about your goals. He pulls from this old book called It Works, noting that if you go around sharing your massive dreams, the subconscious jealousy and doubt of the people around you acts as a counter-intention. It energetically pushes your goal further away from you. So his advice? Move in total silence. Leaving aside his highly controversial history for a moment, this whole breakdown really challenges us to pause and ask a vital question. Think about the words you literally spoke out loud today. Are those words actively building your perfect tomorrow, or are they keeping you trapped on the exact wrong frequency? Take an honest look at your energetic dial. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and we will catch you on the next one.